Shalom Mishpacha. I have a little sad news for a righteous man amongst us that passed on the beyond to the other world, and that was Rabbi Asher, who is Rabbi Jeremiah's brother, younger brother in London. He passed on today. Baruch atah Hashem Eloheinu melech haolam, Hashafat HaSadiq. Blessed are you, Hashem Elohim, King of the universe, the righteous judge. When somebody dies, the righteous man who is also a Torah teacher, we say the following prayer. So for him, Rabbi Asher, I'm pretty sure that his family are devastated by his loss. His brother, elder brother, is also devastated by his loss as well. Very sad. In fact, I'm very sad for his loss. He is not only a righteous man, he was a good man in every way, faithful to his family, and he tried to do good in his life. Sadly, I think he was going through perhaps some health issues of late, and I didn't know he had heart issues. I thought he had some other issues related to perhaps personal, home problems, perhaps family type issues, but it looks like he must have been highly stressed. And it is the stress. It's not like he had a blood pressure problem, that he always, struggled with high blood pressure. I don't think it was that. I don't even think he was on any medication for such type of problems. But I believe that his problem stems from personal stresses from the environment that you live in. And that's taken his life. He will be remembered. And may Hashem send him back soon into the world to live another righteous life. What a fine example. What a fine example. We don't have many examples of rabbis, teachers who leave us in such a fine way, being righteous in Torah and died in Torah. That's just amazing and wonderful. The only other rabbi that I can speak about who passed on and died righteous man was in North America, and that was Rabbi Hananiah. He's another righteous man, righteous soul. May he return soon. Good man as well. I can't say too much about the other people that left us for paltry things of this world, who, being teachers, did not respect the oath they took, did not respect the Torah, and just, turned away. So, we are to remember the dead who are righteous, even more than those that are living, because their memory lives on, and shall live on forever. With that, I will say this, that my advice to all my students, we live in a very tough world at times. We have to face all sorts of problems at homes, problem with families, and if our families that God has given us are right with us, and we have wonderful family lives, then we have the other problem of the environment that you live in. Living in a Western world environment is very highly, I'll say two things, toxic, highly toxic, number one, and number two, a lot of pressure, a lot of tension from surroundings, high interest rates, job issues, rents, loans, and things like that. Day-to-day life becomes very tough for some people. And if you don't have supportive families, a supportive family structure, which is what the Torah ordains and governs, then you run into a lot of difficulties, a lot of the heart attacks. Heart attack is the number one killer in the West. And the main reason for heart attack is not that the people have blood pressure. It's the main reason for heart attack is tension. That is the biggest killer in the Western world for people. I can understand people in North America, people eating a lot of McDonald's, fast foods, Kentucky Fried, Burger King, burgers, fries, chips, this, that, and the other. I can understand those people becoming obese, and then they suffer from blood pressure, heart problems, and then they also can die early. I can understand that. But a normal person, one who appears to be healthy, and just suddenly out of the blue, he gets a heart attack and he passes on, that is incomprehensible. And part of the problem for that, I believe, is that the people, perhaps, maybe it's not known to them that the tension and the pressures that they are taking is affecting their health and their lifespan. So I would say that Rabbi Asher, he came to the Torah a number of years ago. He's been with us, hasn't left us. He's only left us in spirit now, but he will return soon. But I want all my students to understand this. I want you all to take care of your health. This is very important. If you're not sure, get the knowledge. If you don't have the knowledge, ask me if you don't know. I can guide you. If not through me, if you go to other sources, get good guidance on nutrition. And the present lifestyles that a lot of people are living are very unhealthy. High carbohydrate diets that are affecting you. Your lifestyle is affecting you, and the fast pace of life is also affecting you. So I encourage you all to look after yourself nutritionally. Try to veer more towards a carnivore diet where you have meat, fish, chicken, and add some vegetables to it. Not too much. Add some vegetables. Make sure you eat a couple of eggs a day. 2 eggs a day, a must. It must be in your diet. Part of your diet should be daily, whether you boil the eggs daily or whether you fry them. But make sure that you fry them in a good oil, like either olive oil or coconut oil, or ghee for that matter, cow butter. Make sure that you have that daily as an intake. That is very, very healthy, nutritious. It gives you all the protein you need for the day. So you need to make that part of your diet plan. Even if you are working and you haven't got much time, it doesn't take long to boil 2 eggs. It's pretty quick. So make sure that you put yourself on that diet at least once a week. Make sure you consume fish. At least, if you can't do it every day, then maybe out of the 7 days, at least 3 days of the week, make sure you have meat. Make sure you have legumes, lentils, chickpeas, things of that nature. And that will round up your diet properly so you have a healthy life. And maybe some of you need to go to the gym. If you find that you're getting overweight, you put on too much weight, you may have to start exercising. It doesn't mean you have to all go to the gym. Some of you can just do it at home. You can go for brisk walks. You can do some exercise in the house, some outside the house, and look after yourself. It's important. Don't, use a job or a not having time as a crutch. It is up to you to look after yourself. You must look after yourself because you are the number one priority in your family. If your family is not looking after you, you need to look after yourself. Because if you don't have long life, well, where's your family going to be when you die early? And they're not going to be happy about it once it's done. But then they can't change it either. So you need to take that charge and look after yourself. One affirmation that you should be reading daily, apart from the Torah verses, apart from the Siddur, the prayers that you read every day, one affirmation that you should be reading is that you should be saying, I'm in perfect health. I'm whole and complete. You should be saying that every day to yourself. This is why it is very important. I urge you, all my students worldwide, I urge you to look after yourselves. Look at the people around you. Look at how they're going to the gym, what kind of foods they are eating to bring their physique up to par, because we live in a highly stressful world. And if we don't look after ourselves, nobody else will. Nobody's going to come from outside and say, hey, so-and-so, are you okay? Nobody's going to ask that to you. You're going to have to do it for yourself. It's either your spouse, and if your spouse doesn't take care of you, then you have to take care of yourself. Don't even depend on your spouse. You got to depend on yourself. I do not depend on my spouse to look after me. I have to look after myself. I can only depend on my spouse to make my meal, but I don't depend on her for my health. My health is my choice, my decision. For me to live the quality and health of life that I have, Ruch Hashem, may Hashem's name be praised, may God's name be praised forever and ever. I'm absolutely wonderful and perfect health. And that's not because of my spouse. I haven't had a spouse for many, many years. I lived without a spouse. So now that I have this blessing, yes, I do get my meals, but there are times when there are no meals, and maybe my spouse has to go shopping, or maybe she has to go some relative's place and visit them, and I take care of myself. I make sure I take care of myself. And just as I did in England, and I come over here in the East, I do the same. In England, I used to make two eggs for myself every morning. I remember when I used to live with my dad. My dad used to boil the eggs in the morning. He used to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, 4 a.m. every day. He used to make 2 eggs for himself, eat his eggs, drink his tea, go off to work. I used to make 2 eggs for myself. I used to fry my eggs. And I would fry 2 eggs, and I will have them, and then I will have a cup of tea with it, or either a hot chocolate, and then I will go to my workplace. That was my routine, and my routine hasn't changed since those days. I'm still doing the same thing. Every morning I tell my wife 2 eggs, half fried, and a hot chocolate with it. And either is that, or I take green tea, which is much lighter. I take the green tea, and I take the eggs with it. And if I don't do that, then I'll take a milkshake of bananas. 4 bananas. Bananas over here are smaller, Mexican sizes. So slightly bigger than that. But either that or it's a milkshake. What's equivalent of 2 bananas in America is equivalent to 4 bananas over here. It's got to be a milkshake for me, and that's my breakfast. So this is why I keep telling my students to look after your health, look after yourselves, because yes, you can have your healthy meals, and if you want to have a cheat day, like a day in the week for anything you like, sure, but just make it 1 day a week. Don't make it every day. If you want to go McDonald's and eat a burger, or if you want to eat fries, you want to eat Burger King or something, and Kentucky Fried, whatnot, make that just 1 day a week, or pizza 1 day a week only. Do not do it every day. Look after your health. Your health is number 1 priority for you and for your family. If you love your family, you got to look after yourself. If you love yourself, you got to look after yourself. Either way, you got to look after yourself. So with that in mind, I want to encourage you to look after yourself. If you're not sure of something, some food, ask me. I can help you a lot in that area, and I can guide you. And stay away from man-made fats. Animal fats are great. Stay away from sweeteners like these sugar, white sugar. Stay away from white sugar. It's a killer. That brings on a lot of diseases in the body. Try to either take brown sugar or either sugar. Either you can get the jaggery, and that is actually great taste. And in America, and probably in England and Europe, you can get lots of different varieties of sugar. You can get these different types of natural sweeteners, that you can pick up from any store. You know, when I was in America, when I'm staying over there, I buy this, sweetener made of coconut. It's like a sweetener made from coconut, and there was one made from a bark of the tree, maple syrup. There was another one. Then there was another one, a monk fruit or something, and it was made from monk fruit. And another sweetener, good sweetener. It's just much better than, 10 times better than sugar. White sugar is a killer. White sugar is bleached. It is very unnaturally made with chemicals, and it can do a lot of damage to your body. So try to remove white sugar from your diet. Remove normal salt from your diet. Use sea salt. All of you who live abroad, who live in European countries and Western countries, all of you get sea salt, good sea salt, and eat that. Make that part of your diet. Do not consume any other salt. Sure, you can try pink salt, but I'll encourage you to use sea salt. Sea salt, I would say, is number one on the list. After that, if you can't get sea salt for some reason, sure, pink salt is great. You got Celtic salt. In America, there is a lake, and they produce salt from that. It's fairly expensive. I've never tried it, but there's that salt. But I wouldn't say go for expensive. I'd say go for something that is widely available, like sea salt. It's widely available. You pick it up from Tesco, Walmart, everywhere. So go with sea salt. And that will do you great good. It'll be great for your body. Make that a habit. Sea salt, white sugar out, use a different kind of sweetener like jaggery, or use another like maple syrup, maybe if not maple syrup, monk fruit or coconut sugar. Those are great ones to have. So with that, have a wonderful week ahead. Until the Shabbat, remember Rabbi Asher in your prayers for his family. May they be consoled for his untimely death. Very sad. May, as he stands before the righteous judge of the earth, let the righteous judge reward him for his great deeds and good mitzvah that he did in this world. Baruch Hashem. Shalom, shalom.